So I wanted to do this video just before year end because a lot is changing on a day-to-day scale, and I just kind of wanted to unpack a few things. I do get a lot of people asking me about what's going to happen in 2025. So let's get into it right away. We've got a new finance minister and we've got a new housing minister. The Canadian economy is still in a bit of a mess, and so I don't really want to focus in on that too much, but I do want to take the information that is coming out from all of those avenues and sort of break it down on the day-to-day scale as to what that means for you if you're in the Metro Vancouver area or the Richmond area, and what kind of information is going to impact your decisions realistically. So right off the bat, let's get into mortgages. Now, we know that the Bank of Canada has done an amazing job of cutting rates. We got 500 basis points in about 10 months. It's been at zeros for a decade. So, there has been a huge amount of movement in the interest rates. But at the same time, because of the strength of the 10-year yield, the fixed rates are not going to move much more. That is the sentiment that's out there from people that are more have a background in the economy and sort of what they're seeing. So for you, if you are looking at renewing your mortgage in 2025, this is a great time to get in touch with a mortgage broker and sort of see what mortgage is going to be a better product for you. There's a lot out there. A lot of the conversation I'm having with sellers is, they're kind of looking maybe at renewing or refinancing. And just again, a bit of a heads up, OFC did say that they were removing the stress test, but now it sort of looks like they're sort of reworking something again with people who are looking at possibly getting equitable mortgages out. So just a word of caution. I don't know how that's going to unfold, but may be a good idea if that's what you're considering. But again, coming back to, let's just say, a new mortgage, 5-year or a 3-year variable. It depends on your goals. If you are looking at, holding on to your real estate, and you also like the predictability of having a very static monthly payment, then the 5-year rate might be a better way to go for you. Or you might say, well, you know what, I don't really have plans to be here for that long. That could be one consideration. Or no, I'm really okay with the variable because I love, to take advantage of it if it is going to get lower, and then be able to make a decision afterwards. So again, something that you want to consider in terms of your short and long-term needs in real estate. But if you are looking for the fixed rate to start having some sort of softening, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So just that's sort of your takeaway there. Talk to a mortgage broker and see what's going to work best for you. This might be a great time to do that. Now, with the mortgage rate sort of being one thing, and with OFC sort of again reworking what's going to happen in the back end right now with what they put out already in terms of the stress test, that might be something else to watch in 2025 as well, as that could impact a lot of people taking out mortgages. Now, feet on the ground, Shali, what's going on? What's happening in real estate? Should I buy? Should I sell? So when it comes to selling, it's really interesting having some conversations with sellers, because they're like, well, maybe I can wait till the market improves. And great, absolutely wait if that's an option that you can have. But it's not a 6-month wait. It's a 2 years, 3 years minimum wait, if not longer, if your wait is purely to wait for the market conditions to improve in your favor. Now, this is not the waiting I'm talking about when we say, well, you know what, I need some time to get everything sorted out, or I just want the kids to finish up their school or wait till spring break. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are waiting for the market to get better. So one is timing your listing and one is waiting for market conditions. So if that's sort of your thought process, then that's okay. But just realistically speaking, with everything happening in the economy, with everything happening with immigration rates, with everything happening with the labor market, with the unemployment rates, like this isn't something that's going to get fixed in 6 months, right? So just to keep that in the back of your mind as well. So what we are seeing is we're definitely seeing the condo market in very much of a recession, and it's still going to take the next year to bottom out. We have a lot of investors who had purchased high during that sort of much stronger market, and now they are sitting with 1, 2, possibly 3 or more units that they bought into a pre-sale sort of conditions, and there's really nothing that's incentivizing them to keep the product or possibly to enter into any more contracts to purchase any more investments. So we might see an influx of inventory just getting dumped on the market because a lot of the investors just want to get these assets off their books. Or actually, they're not assets at this point, they're liabilities, because we've got a really soft rental market. So they're not able to really make up their monthly payment plus strata fee with a much lower rental return. And then we've possibly, maybe the sort of silver lining there might be that if they're starting to put out the pre-sale or assignments, or just once they complete they want to put it back out on the market, we might be seeing really good prices coming up. So maybe a lot of those renters will turn into first-time buyers because that leap will be much smaller, or the gap will have shortened so much. So that would be something that might stimulate the activity level and the growth level. But again, at the same time, that is going to hurt the rental market as well. So if you are in that investor environment, really have to calculate out your short and long-term goals as to what needs to happen. It could be that you're holding for a little while, or you're just going to get rid of it and then move on to getting into better opportunities in different areas. And we know that in Canada, where there's certainly some good pockets for investments, and then there's also your high and affordable areas like Vancouver and the GTA. And so when it comes to the condo market 2025, if you are looking to purchase, then this next year is going to be a great time. Start to keep an eye on things, start to keep an eye on prices, start to go out there, start looking at open houses, start seriously considering it. The reason I want you to get your homework done and start sort of narrowing down on what you are possibly looking for and what price you're waiting for is because in my 17 experience, I have found that the condo market, even though it's soft, and as soon as it starts to pick up, it in a blink of an eye, it goes crazy.
Oh, okay. Oh, you crazy.
Okay, I can't describe it any other way. It will just pick up so fast that you want to be an early adopter here. You want to be like, no, I got it. That was a good price. That was reasonable. And even if it may adjust a little bit more, at least you know you're at the bottom and it's going to pick up, and then you ride that sort of value wave, if you will. But you definitely don't want to wait till everybody else starts buying, because you are definitely going to be leaving some value on the table. So for 2025, condo purchaser, I think great time for you to start doing your homework and looking at which areas, which developments, what price points, taking advantage of the interest rates, taking advantage of some distressed sales that might be coming up. Foreclosures, I know some people are talking about foreclosures. I'm not of the mindset that there's going to be a plethora of foreclosures. I know typically in some areas we see a little bit more than others, but that is usually a very small segment. It's nothing that we've experienced high amounts where, you know, everything is going to the courts for a court approval sale. So I wouldn't bank on foreclosure so much, but just more of a distressed sale, I think, before it goes into foreclosure. And then, so we've got single family housing doing a couple of different things. It's really hard to take these averages that come out nationwide because they're taking into account Vancouver, GTA, and of course all the provinces in the middle that are pretty static when it comes to values and price points. So just kind of focusing on Metro Vancouver, Westside Vancouver, and, you know, Fraser Valley a little bit, although we're two different boards. So Fraser Valley areas like Langley, Surrey, activity level does pick up there. And so what I've seen in the past and what I'm going to forecast quite accurately is going to happen again is that when you have areas like Langley performing really well, going into multiple offers, possibly maybe not 15 offers, but 2 or 3 offers if there's a product that's priced really well, you're going to start to see a little bit more activity just because their price points are much lower than west side of Vancouver. But I have seen time and time again, when that activity level sort of swells really fast, buyers get exhausted mentally and they start to look out into different areas to see where they can get better value. It was around post-COVID when I started all of a sudden getting calls from builders from the Surrey area looking for lots in Richmond and Vancouver, and having discussions with them and asking them where their mindset and their thought process was coming from. It was pretty much a standard answer across the line. It was, things are just getting too expensive here and we'd rather pay a little bit more, and even if we're going to get a smaller lot in Richmond or Vancouver, then at least we're in a low risk area and we finally have an ability to step into, you know, the very much west side of Vancouver, which is where most people want to be. So in terms of this activity that you might see in one area, the ripple effect does end up coming backwards again, if you will, to sort of create a little bit more of a activity or create a little bit more of a positive energy because you end up with buyers from out of the area. Now, keep in mind, no matter what happens in terms of prices in other areas, the epicenter for real estate in the Lower Mainland is the west side of Vancouver. I'm not talking West Vancouver, which is across Lionsgate Bridge and then you sort of go into the upper levels. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about west side of Vancouver. You're talking Point Grey, Mackenzie Heights, Dunbar, Arbutus, these areas. This is the ripple effect where, you know, whatever's happening in the west side of Vancouver, in 5 to 6 months, you're going to see very similar activity levels outside, about, let's say, 30 to 40 kilometers outside. So this is what's going to affect Burnaby. This is what's going to affect Richmond. This is what's going to affect Surrey, Langley, all those areas. So if you want to know what to do or when to make a move in 2025, then watch the west side of Vancouver, because as soon as things start to pick up, and right now really there has been no appreciation in the west side in the last 8 years. It hurts to say it, but it has statically gone up and down. It has changed, but if I look at the values today and I look at the values 8 years ago, they're very similar. So if we just take those numbers and we say, well, there hasn't been, although there have been small areas of gains, then again, you get an idea of what's going to happen in other areas. And again, you can be an early adopter in those areas because you're starting to see this ripple effect come out from West Vancouver, downtown Vancouver, and that's going to set you up quite well as to what the activity level is going to look like. It's not like having a little mini crystal ball. Again, you know, that ripple effect could start and all of a sudden you get new policies, you get new mandates, you get new economic global factors that might shut things down. But all things being equal, if everything continues on that path, that's what I'm talking about. Is you watch West Vancouver, and as soon as you go, wow, this is going insane here, then just wait for that insanity to follow about 5 to 6 months down the line into other areas. So for 2025 then, if you're looking at making a move in the condo market, it's a great time, but don't wait too long. If you are looking at getting into a different asset class, single family, then looking at different areas could help you to compare value, but you're watching for those movements that are going to dictate what's going to happen down the line. And if you are looking to just simply wait, then just know that it's not a short-term wait. This is going to take, you know, a few years for things to clear up. And I don't necessarily mean clear up and be positive, just clear up so we know what's happening. I, you know, get questions from people asking, well, are we in a bear market, are we in a bull market, when is the seller's market? There's just too much that's happened in a very short time to really for anybody to say what's going to happen. But it's just going laterally right now. That's all it's doing. It is moving. It's, you know, especially in this very mild weather we're having. I've experienced in my 17 years of selling real estate, anytime we have a very mild winter, buyers continue to pound the pavement to look for opportunities in real estate. And the holidays typically is a great time because we end up having people visiting from out of town as well that are sort of doubling up their plans to visit family and also look at real estate options to see what they can do here. So as long as, you know, the snow doesn't hit the streets, it'll keep going. And it's nice to see that people are still out. It is not shut down by any means. It's just moving very laterally. So I hope this has helped. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you are not currently working with a realtor, then I happily apply for that position. If you're not quite ready to reach out or to have a conversation about real estate yet, then I'm happy to help you from a distance by putting out these videos and hopefully sharing a lot of information with you to help you to make some really informed decisions during these very challenging times. So I hope you have a great holiday season. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you in 2025.